Okay, we're gonna start with the question now. First question is that a bond is known to have a par value of $1,000 with a coupon rate of 10%. There's going to be paid annually with a term of maturity of 20 years. If the yield to maturity value is 8%, so how much is the bond price? So you have all of the information, right? The first one is that you have a par value. The first step that you have to make is that list down the information that you have and what you still don't have from the case. The first one is that you have a par value of $1,000 and the coupon rate of 10% that is going to be paid annually with a term of 20 years. And by default, if it's not stated that is it going to be paid annually or semi-annually, let's assume the bond that will pay the coupon semi-annually, because the US standard, the standard that set by the by the all of the financial practitioners, that bonds are gonna pay the coupon semi-annually. But if it's stated annually, so you just state on the information that's given on the case. So the first one is that you have a par of $1,000 and it's coupon rate of 10%. That means the coupon, this is a C. I mean, it's to make it easier, I will make it it's going to be a bit clear. It's $100. It came from, you multiply the it's the 10% of the par value, right? And the term of maturity, the bond will mature in 20 years. It's going to expire in 20 years from now. And the yield to maturity, you have a value of 8%. So what is the bond price? Remember that you're going to, whatever that you're going to value, you're going to value the cash flow of the asset. All right, a bond is an asset for you. You have a bond, that means you have an asset. You're going to value your asset using its cash flow, right? So the first one is that the bond. You remember that you have to calculate the present value of the cash flow, and the bond have two components of cash flows. Two components of cash flow. The first one is the present value of the coupon and the present value of the par value. So what is the bond price? This is the present value of the coupon. Is that 100 is using the annuity concept, is 100 times by the present value interest factor. This is 1 minus 1 per 1 plus 8% and to the power of 20 and divided by 8%. So this is the present value of interest factor. So to make it more, so this one is the present value interest factor, and this is the C, is the coupon that we're going to multiply to the present value interest factor of annuity. We're using annuity concept because it's a fixed payment with a specific period. If it's not specific, it's called perpetuity, right? So we use annuity concept here to make it easier for you to calculate, to make it to make the calculation is quicker. You won't need to calculate the cash flow, the present value. You're gonna calculate the present value of the first year's cash flow and so on until the year 20. No. You don't have to. You don't need to do that. There's no need to do that when you have the annuity concept right here. And the second one is the present value of par value. Is this part right here. So the par value of $1,000 divided by 1 plus 8% to the power of 20. So that's how you calculate the face value of the bond. So you just add 900 plus 215, you'll get the bond price of $1,196.36. So it's simple. When you have all the information, is calculating a bond's value is pretty much simple. So we're going to move to the second question. So the second question, Smart MK Corporation is in need of funding to increase its daily production capacity. So the corporation issues a bond with a par value of $250,000, sorry, and the corporation, the company, is going to offer a coupon rate of 8% per year, which will be paid every 6 months. So this is semi-annually. The bond will mature in the next 6 years. So this is the expiration date of the bond. Then the required rate of return is 10%. Based on these informations, what is the bond value of the Semangat MK Corporation? So back to the first step. What is the information that you have? That you already have. You have the par value, right? It's $250,000, and the coupon rate is 8% annually, but the coupon will be paid semi-annually. So the coupon rate, you should divide the coupon rate in half, divided by half to 4%. Why? Because if you if you get 8% in a year, so in half in a year you'll get 4%. That's how you calculate the coupon rate if the payment is semi-annual. And then you have the years to maturity. It's 6 years. It's going to the bonds will mature in 6 years from now, and the required rate of return, which is the market rate, is the yield to maturity is 10%. So first one, you have to calculate the two components of cash flow, right? You have the par value of $250,000. The things that you don't have is the coupon, the semi-annual coupon payment, right? So this is the coupon. So every 6 months, what is the value that you're going to receive, the coupon that you're going to receive? So this is the value that you're going to receive. Is that 4% multiplied by $250,000 of face value. So this is the coupon that you're going to receive is $10,000 every 6 months. So every 6 months that you're going to receive the payment of $10,000. So what's the difference with this annual and the semi-annual payment? The first one is the coupon rate. So you have a different coupon also, right? And then the second one is the payment. The bond will mature in 6 years, so the bond will have 12 payment periods. Because every year you get 2 payments, and the yield to maturity usually is stated in a year, stated annually. So you have to divide it by half into in this case it's 10% to 5%. So you have all the information that you need to calculate. So you just need to calculate using this formula: the coupon of 10,000 multiplied by its present value interest factor of annuity 1 minus 1 or 1 plus r to the power of t to the power of the period divided by required rate of return of the yield to maturity, and you're going to have to add that to the present value of the base value of the bond. So this is the bond value. Please remember that you're using a present value of interest factor of annuity in terms of semi-annual payment. So this is that the required return is 5% and the payment period is 12%. Please don't be confused between coupon rate and the yield to maturity or the required return. Coupon rate is what you receive, right? So the higher is the better for you. But yield to maturity is the required return, is the present value factor. So the higher the interest factor, you will have a lower present value. So that's the two thing is a completely different thing. So please don't be mixed up with the coupon rate and the yield to maturity rate, or the required rate of return. So that's how you calculate the annual semi-annual coupon payments, and you just need to calculate this part right here. This one is going to calculate the face value, the present value of the face value. This one right here, you're gonna calculate the semi-annual coupon payments in terms of annuity using the annuity concept. So the bond value, if after you calculate the present value and then you add both components, you're gonna receive 200. So in total, the value of your bonds is $227,000, around 227 and $841,000. So that's around $200,000. That's what you're going to receive, and that's the price of your bonds. So I think it's quite simple in bonds valuation, but you just have to be careful in terms of annual payment and semi-annual payment, and you have to be careful with the difference in the distinction of the coupon rate and the yield to maturity rate. So that's the two things that you really need to have a look on. Alright, so we're going to move to the third question. So this is a bit different question than the former ones. It states that a bond is known to have a face value of $1,000 and pay the coupon of 10% every 6 months over a period of 20 years. So you have the face value and you have the coupon rate for every 6 months over a period of 20 years. You have the years to maturity. You have to the maturity years, right? Maturity period. So if the bond price is 1,197.93, what is the ATM value? What is the rate? What is the market rate of this bond? So this is a bit different, and it's a bit challenging to understand. So I'm going to slow the pace a bit right here, because the concept is a bit you can get easily mixed up. So feel free to rewind the video over and over again, or maybe to ask your tutors about this particular problem. Alright, so we're gonna start from this first step. The first one is that we need to list down the information that we already have from the question. So the par value is $1,000 and paid a coupon of 10% every 6 months. So it's semi-annually, right? So the coupon rate is 5%. And over a period of 20 years, so you have a period of payment of 40, and the bond price is 1,000. You already have the bond price. So the first step, you already have the first step. So the second step is that we're going to use the concept of interpolation. So how to explain Alright, so this is a really good example to explain. So this is the curve of the relationship between the bond's price with the interest rate of the yield to maturity. I should write the ATM. This is the price of the bond. Alright, this is the price, and then this is the relationship. So if you see right here, the higher the interest rate, the lower the bond value. See right here, this is lower, right? But the yield to maturity is 20. with the bond value of 500. So you're going to imagine that this is the point that you this is the, what is the name of the bond? This is A bond, right? So let's assume that this is A bond, bond A, right here. Yeah, it has a different price, but par value. This is price, right? This is not the face value. So please don't be mixed up with the price and face value. So you want to predict this one, right? What is this one? You don't have a clue. What is the interest rate of the bond? So in reality, that you're going to use financial calculators, but in exams, financial calculators isn't really allowed. So we're going to use a technique called interpolation. Interpolation means that you're going to estimate using the center point. Then in the middle, you have the upper value and the bottom value. What is the all right, you have the upper value and the lower value, right? So you're going to predict, let's call this bond B or bond U for upper value, and this one is bond L for lower value. This is I don't have anything. Alright, I have a blue pen right there, so it's easier. Yeah, okay, let's call this as an upper value bond. So what you're going to do is to estimate this when you have the information on the upper value of the bond. This one, let's say it is on $1,200. Let's call this the bond. This is the bond value, and then this one, oh, I forgot about the interest. Let's say this is on 6%, and then on the lower value, let's say this is on 900. You know, it's so hard to write with using a mouse. All right, let's say this is 8% interest rate. So what you're going to predict is this one. With the, you already have right, you already have this one, right? 6%, you got 8%. So this is the value that you're going to predict using the upper value and the lower value. That's the concept of interpolation right here. Alright, it is going to predict. That's the concept of interpolation. I know it's a bit hard to explain using a chart, but it's the best way to explain. But I'm sorry if you haven't really got it yet. I hope that. Feel free to ask me about this concept, or ask your tutors about this concept of interpolation, because it is really important to understand the basic idea of the technique before you going to apply the technique. So I'm assuming that you already get a hands-on the concept. The first one is that you have this is the middle value, right? You're going to find the this one. Alright, this middle value, and then the upper and that this is the lower. Okay, or maybe just gonna switch it. It's the same. So you're going to estimate this using the, if you don't have a clue yet, you can use a 5% and you have a bond price of $1,000. So how could you do that? How could you know that the bond with the yield to maturity of 5% will result in a bond value of 1,000? Remember what I said about par? Par is when the coupon is equals to the yield to maturity, right? So the bond price is the same as its face value. So this is the concept about par. See right here, the coupon is 5%, and if we predict the yield to maturity of 5%, so we already know that if the bond have a yield to maturity of 5%, so it will have a $1,000 in value. So that's how you get this one. This value is par. I'm going to mark this with maybe with yellow, right? So this is the par. It's just easier to associate the colors, I hope. And then the second one, if we're going to use this as the upper value, what is the lower value? Right? So you already have that the bond price is one. Let's say this is low. It's, you know, if you don't get mixed up with the price. So this is the upper value. So it's based on the bond price. This is a relationship. You know the conflicting relationship between the yield time to bond price, right? So lower yield time results in higher bond price. So you assume that, alright, the second one is 3%. This is an assumption. You feel free to maybe you're gonna predict 4%. Is as long as it's lower than the 5%, you feel free to predict the value. So bond price, if we assume the yield time value, I'm going to mark this with gray. Alright, if we assume yield time value is 3%, it's this one. You calculate manually. Alright, if it's 3%, you get the bond price of 1,400 right here. So we already have what we need to use the interpolation technique. So what you have to do, what you need to do, is to apply the formula right here. This is the formula of interpolation. So I'm gonna delete this. What's that? So this is the bond price minus bond value 1 equals to yield to maturity minus required return, first required return, the required return of bond 1, and so on and so on. So this is 5%. That in yield time 5%, you have a bond price of 1,000 minus x. Actually, you haven't known what the bond value of the x, right? So it's 1. It's actually, you don't have an idea of yield time, but you already have the value is 1,197, and the second one is bond value 2 is 5% minus 3%, and the second one is 1,000 minus 1,400. Keep in mind that it's impossible for this to be negative. If the result of this one is negative divided by negative, it will turns out as positive, right? But if you have the result of the division is negative, or this one is negative, this one right here, both is negative, so negative, you got it. It's most certain that you got it wrong. So you have this one, this will result from the calculation, and you're going to have this one multiplied into the just switching sides, and then voila, you got the value of the yield to maturity. Okay, so I know that the time is presented in annual terms, so this is on semi-annual, right? This is in annual, so we have to multiply the x value with 2 because x value is calculated in semi-annual way. Okay, so this is on semi-annual. So if the if this is semi-annual, I'm going to write mark this down so it's easier. This is semi-annual, right? So annually, this is what we're going to get: 8%. Just multiplied by 2. So this is at the end of the first part of the bond valuation. I know it's a bit lengthy, but please don't be discouraged by the length of the video, because if it's easier for you to study with your tutor privately, so please do so, especially about the interpolation, because it's very hard to explain it using a video, using online tools. But feel free to connect with your tutor and ask them to explain more about this concept, because it's a bit hard. It's a bit complicated for you to understand. If you haven't got the concept on the first glance, it's totally normal because it's a bit hard. Okay, so that's the end of the bond valuation. We're going to move on to the stock valuation.